And, you know, since February, my office has received 3,000 calls from all over the United States about this issue. So, and my wife said to me, you know, you're dealing with health issues, you're dealing with prolonging Medicare, you're trying to do something about energy. Why is this striking? Why is this? Because this is directly into our pockets. And people just assume that there's no one out there caring about anything happens, so they pay the price, whatever it is. And no one knows better than Bert Fowler, who's the president of the American Antitrust Institute. Bert, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
I think I would like to focus on the systemic aspect of this merger. The parties have said that they're creating a platform that reaches from fans to talent, and all points in between. You can see it illustrated out here. What does that mean? It means that they've got an integrated system, and it's going to be the only one that we can foresee in the whole world. That's pretty important. As a system, the parts are going to reinforce each other. And if you look at all the different, and there are more, but this illustrates the components of this system. And once it's a system, the people who are involved in the individual sections are really not going to be able to compete with the system as a whole. For consumers, I think we've already said it. It means that the things that we value from competition, which are fair prices, good service, innovation, and a system with a lot of choices. These are going to be severely restricted or eliminated. So it hurts consumers as well as the various rivals who are out there doing their businesses now. There's nothing wrong with a closed system when it's one of several that can offer alternatives to suppliers and customers. That's not going to be the case here. There's nothing wrong with a small number of systems if they're relatively open, so that everyone can plug their offerings into the system and participate, keeping that range of choice for consumers. That will not be the case here. There's nothing wrong with one system if it's a natural monopoly and it's going to be regulated in the public interest. And that's not the case here. We don't see any possible fixes, any divestitures that are going to create an alternative competitor comparable to what Live Nation is both in practice and potentially. The systemic risk that's going to be created by this merger is not that it's too big to fail. It's that it's too likely to succeed. So I think it's time for the Justice Department simply not to fix it, just say no.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I think that, Bert, this is goes beyond tickets. This is, you say it's systemic within the venue here. There are many venues like that, you know, the Justice Market. Look, we want to keep the market free. Those are always people jumping up and down about the free market. So you look closely and find out there are monopolies usually involved. Or oligarchies usually involved. And the few. In other words, keep this business within either one or two, something like the insurance business, you know, keep it within one or two, and that's the free market. We want to protect the free market. But the last thing you want to do is have more competition. And so you want fewer people, you want to make all the money. But on the other hand, that is not what the free market system is all about. And we need to understand it. I want to thank the members who are here, the members of the coalition who are with us today. David Balto, yes. Come over here and say a few words. David Balto is the Senior Fellow Center for American Progress, right? And former FTC policy advisor. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Congressman. The Justice Department is at a crossroads. The Antitrust Division has not been to court to oppose the merger to it has not had a merger trial in over 5 years. During the Bush administration, the answer to problematic mergers was always, we divest a little bit. Can we take a little piece from this business, a little piece from this business? Can we create something that resolves competitive concerns? Typically, those divestitures have failed. As Bert has articulated so well, what you would be facing in any new alternative competitor in this market would be facing a behemoth which would have all these services. Doing some kind of short, limited divestiture, such as some of the divestitures that have been reported in the press, could not fully restore competition. The proper thing for the Justice Department is to walk the several blocks down to the courthouse here in D.C., file a lawsuit, and welcome the merger.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, David. We have Bert here, right?
Yes,
Would you like to say a few words? And what is your name?
Nicole Fishon.
Nicole, thank you for being here.
Sure, thank you. Excuse me for
And
inviting
then
me.
we'll wrap it up and answer questions. You want to? No? Okay.
Great. Well, we're really excited to be here. So I promise I will be brief. U.S. PER, if you don't know, is a nonpartisan, nonprofit firm that represents consumers, taxpayers, and, of course, the public interest. I just want to say that when I bring up Ticketmaster to my friends, families, colleagues, and anyone across the board, everyone has some sort of troubling anecdote about the process, the prices, the customer service. It's just something that resonates with everyone from every walk of life. And U.S. PER believes that making a company like this even bigger and even further removed from those that they serve and that they claim to support is the wrong course. So I would like to focus for a little bit about how big this merged company would be and what kind of power it would wield. As an example, if Ticketmaster is permitted to merge with Live Nation, a single firm will sell most of the concert tickets in this country through its contracts with 11,000 venues and manage a significant number of marquee performers in the world. Excuse me. And this includes their tours, including Madonna, U2, Jay-Z, Nickelback, Shakira, the Eagles, Christina Aguilera, Aerosmith, and about 200 others. And, as a consumer advocacy group, U.S. PER would be remiss if we didn't remind everyone that Ticketmaster's existing exclusive arrangements and venues and its dominance over ticketing have allowed it to treat its consumers with disdain. If you had a complaint about Ticketmaster, or if you have a complaint about its new proposed mega company, you couldn't walk across the street and buy your tickets somewhere else. If you want to go to the show, you'd have to go through them. The power over consumers has so far allowed to increase the face value of tickets, sometimes astronomically, and putting them out of reach for ordinary working families. The delivery fees alone, imposed internet email delivery, is one particularly egregious process. And actually, even for the free inauguration tickets, when they were going on last January, Ticketmaster charged a $17 fee to email your free inauguration ticket to you. And those sorts of services, are typically provided without surcharges by other companies that offer similar goods and services. Ticketmaster just charges these fees simply because it can. With a monopolist, you must put up with that service, unfortunately. And Ticketmaster is already too big to care. It's too big to care about customer service or in the ways that it's damaging the very industry it claims to support and promote. And letting it get bigger, we feel, will only make things worse. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody have? Thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions, come up, talk to us privately, publicly, whatever you want to do. But thank you for being here today. We are not getting off this case. Many attempts to make peace. We are not getting off this case. This is going to have a ripple effect on other cases. 5 years. 5 years. David, correct? Right. We haven't had any action from that part of the Justice Department. Maybe it doesn't exist any longer. And maybe it's part of the reason why we're here struggling with this economy today. People were allowed to do whatever the hell they wanted. And we're not going to put up with that. Thank you so much, Rudy. Thank you.
Thank you.